Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning for wherever you are, and welcome to one of our many DC Fandom showcase videos where we're talking about the films, the TV stuff, the comics, the animated stuff, and just a general view of the whole spectacle that was DC Fandom. But in this particular video, we're just going to be focusing on the films because that's always top of everyone's list. Um, so we are going to be breaking down what we saw, what we think we're going to see, and what we enjoyed about what we saw. Joining me, I'm of course the fiddler, but joining me is cousin Cheeto with his Jason Todd and Deadshot. No, Deadshot. You distracted me. Get that shit out of the way, fucking comic pop, you fascist. And Zam Snyder, who we have the Zam Snyder cut, which is him just chopping his dick off. Anyway,
Again.
Anyway,
something so big just shouldn't exist.
Yeah. So first we're going to talk about. Not first we saw. I missed it because I fell asleep, so I had to go back and catch up on everything. But we saw, of course, the trailer for the new Batman film, The Batman, El Bato Mano. And nipples were perked. Nipples were perked.
Dude, the Schumacher nipples were on point.
Oh my God, those bat nipples were ready and roasting. This basically is by Matt Reeves, a director who I do really like. He gave us the awesome Planet of the Apes sequels that were fantastic and criminally underrated. So the minute he was attached to this project, I knew the only people that could fuck this project up are the producers, who are notorious at Warner Brothers for meddling. There's a whole history behind it. But we're just going to get straight into what we saw in the trailer. And I'll take it over to you, Cheeto.
Oh, I mean, this was definitely one of the highlights. I mean, everybody knows I'm a Marvel mark because I mention it every time. But I mean, this is exactly what I wanted out of this movie. A Batman Begins vibe. But I think that, like, because there's different sides of the pendulum. There's the comic book side of the pendulum, and then there's like the realistic side of the pendulum. And I mean, with this version here, it kind of feels like, they married it together in this perfect. And I mean, it's only 25% of the movie, and oh my God, it's like the best trailer for a Batman movie I think I've ever seen. Because I mean, they gave it straight to you. They said, you got the point. There's murders. Batman's involved. Jim Gordon's kind of trusts Batman, and Batman beats the crap out of people to get information. I mean, it seems like this. Just this perfect melody of comic book versus reality. I mean, obviously he's got the grappling hook and stuff like that in there, but it's kind of the issue that I had with the Nolan movies is it was too much. Like they went out of their way too much to ground it in reality. And that, and that's when you get things like Bane. Like he can't be, he can only be a steroid user. He can't just be like, he has some special, whatever. So I really think that this trailer really, really emphasized how great that Batman can be with that perfect melody of comic books and reality. And hi, Phony Beetle Maniacs CXS.
Hey, Gary. Welcome to the stream, buddy.
Oh, it's Gary. Hi, Gary.
Your thoughts, buddy? Zam, over to you for
Oh, sorry. Okay, first of all, I kind of agree and disagree regarding Nolan grounding in reality, because my problem with the Nolan films just generally was that they were grounded in reality, but then he had this massive, grandiose fucking finale where the whole fucking world or whole of Gotham's going to be destroyed and shit like that. And what I loved about this trailer is I think they're going to keep things a little bit grounded. I think when it comes to the overall finale of everything, it's going to be a bit more personal than the whole of Gotham being fucking destroyed, for instance. Which is, for me, far better way of going with Batman. He's a detective. Make him a detective. It doesn't have to be the end of the world. It could just be about solving some crimes and just getting to the end of that, and and finding out who the serial killer is, who we all kind of gather that it's going to probably be the Riddler from looks of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like this. This was a good trailer. Don't know much what's going on, but from what I'm seeing, I'm happy. Robert Pattinson, by the way, fantastic actor, doesn't get enough credit. No one. I think that the Twilight thing is no longer tagged on him anymore. Everyone knows that he's a good fucking actor, and he can pretty much do anything he wants.
The truth be told, I haven't seen him in anything else other than Twilight, but I'm willing to give him a chance because it's been so long, and I've heard so many people say that he's so good. So I'm not sitting. I mean, when I heard it was a Twilight guy, I'm like, really? But then everyone started singing his praises, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I'll give it a shot. I mean, and I was not.
Pattinson is a brilliant actor. He's a lot more versatile than people give him credit for. After Twilight, I don't think he's done a film I've watched with him in it that's been bad. So it's credit to him, and his performances are always quite standout as well. But it's very rare you'll get somebody of British stock that is a really shit actor. So there's also that to go on. In terms of the film, I agree with you guys. I love the kind of more somber tone that it's taken. It very much kind of seems to borrow from like the film Seven and Zodiac and all those kind of like Bone Collector, all those kind of serial killer type-esque films mixed in with murder mysteries and all that. And I like it. Batman should never be a grandiose character. Just to like what Zam said about blowing up an entire city and then flying off into the sunset. That should never really be Batman. Batman should just be breaking bones of nut jobs and just kind of doing that more kind of grounded, surreal, like, everything's more of a level playing field. I'm just a better skilled fighter than you. Kind of thing.
I mean, I really think the only time Batman should be involved in those is when you have like the Justice League involved, or you have a World's Finest movie. But that's it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it looks good. I can't wait to see it. I'm not like, really need to see it kind of thing, but I like what I saw, and I think the fandom can agree that we might get a bit of justice for Batman, who was done wrong in the previous 3 films, even though Batfleck was absolutely fine. Just not good films. Okay, so moving on, unless anyone else has anything else to add about Batman.
No.
Okay, so then we had the Suicide Squad 2 showcase, or the James Gunn Suckfest, as I like to call it.
With
because
brother,
all they
always.
did in that showcase was just talk about only James Gunn could do a film like this, and James Gunn was amazing, and I'm going to suck him off so fucking hard rather than focus on what the film is. That aside, I absolutely love the insanity and choices of the roster. It looks very big. The film does look big. Doesn't look like they're held back. I mean, they talked about it being, like a special effects extravaganza, which doesn't mean anything. That just could mean hollow bullshit, like a lot of special effects laden films. But at least with James Gunn, you're going to get a lot of heart in the film. You're going to get too many fucking jokes and that. But I'm hoping we get more of a Guardians of the Galaxy type film rather than Guardians of the Galaxy 2 type film, which basically was just irrelevant. Zam, what your thoughts on Suicide Squad?
I have to admit, I'm not very familiar with a lot of the villains in this roster of the Suicide Squad. It does concern me, though, that this is not like Endgame here, where we got already established characters, where they have small roles or big roles in the film. A lot of these guys are going to be coming on the big screen for the first time, and we were saying earlier when we were watching the trailer, so when we were watching the Suckfest, that a lot of these guys are going to get killed off. So we're not going to get any, like with all these people in this film, how we're going to get to know them? Will we get to know them? It might be somebody we might like might be killed off instantly. Somebody we hate might last the fucking distance. And when you've got people like John Cena and Idris Elba, they're going to go the distance. And you've got a couple of other actors who you don't recognize who are probably going to get killed off at the beginning. It's kind of obvious like that. And I don't know how I feel about this. The first Suicide Squad was awful. It was absolutely awful. Let's not forget that. Totally forgot its roots with that film, in my opinion. Is this one going to be any better? I hope so. James Gunn is directing. I mean, things can't get any worse, but I'm not holding out too much for this movie. I'm just I'll watch it, but that's about it.
Yep, fair enough. Cheeto?
I mean, I thought this was typical James Gunn. I agree with you guys. I like the roster. I feel like there's going to be a lot of Slipknots in this one. I agree with you. The first movie wasn't exactly that great. I mean, Slipknot was just there to say, "Oh, look, we killed somebody," but then everybody else lived. For the most part. So,
Well, apart from the sacrifice at the end, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but still, I mean, that's not like I don't know. Suicide Squad, the first one felt more like a heartfelt redemption story. Whereas I really think the Suicide Squad should just be a fun romp with villains who are willing to kill. And, I mean, I'm kind of glad they're bringing back some of the actors from the first one, because I think I actually enjoyed some of those characters. Captain Boomerang, I enjoyed. I did enjoy Gal Gadot. I did enjoy
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
Or not Gal Gadot. Margot Robbie. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I enjoyed. I enjoyed some of that. But I enjoyed a lot of the actors in the first movie. So I'm glad it's kind of like a soft reboot, and not like a full blown reboot or whatever. But still, I mean, I hope they really don't reference much in the first one. I kind of hope they let Robbie finally just let the Joker be, and who cares about the Joker? I mean, that was the worst Joker in the universe anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but other than that, I mean, that's really, I mean, I enjoyed the little game they played. I mean, I know you guys probably didn't care, but I enjoyed the little game that they played, and with all the characters and stuff like that. And, they did the whole draft, and then they, did the James Gunn type, and I can't whatever it's called, the trivia, the trivia game and stuff like that. And I mean, none of them knew any of that. They're actors. They don't care. Like, I love Nathan Fillion's response was perfect, because he's just like, I don't know any of this. He's like, I don't care. He's like, like you can see it on his face with that nasty mustache, Yeah. So
pedo tash.
So anyway, but I mean, I think it looks good. I think it looks fun. I trust James Gunn. I thought it was hilarious though that James Gunn was basically saying, this is the funnest movie. Now, either he's just being a super hype man, or he is throwing shade at Marvel, because I mean, Kevin Feige's sitting there watching this going, are you saying that this is more fun than my beautiful Marvel movies?
Yeah, that's gonna be. That's good. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what kind of tension there is at Marvel as well after they fired him for shit he said decades ago. So even though he goes back to the project, let's see how that turns out. With regard to this, I did enjoy the little digs at Marvel, saying this is the most fun I've ever had, and it's not like anything you've ever seen before, and yada yada yada. But the roster, I mean, I hope Pete Davidson gets killed off really early.
Oh, Javelin and Polka Dot Man, they're gone. Watch, really? Polka Dot Man's going to be like one of the few that survive. I'm calling you now.
Javelin will survive.
No, Polka Dot Man will survive.
Yeah, that's
what you got against Pete Davidson.
I can't stand him. He's just an annoying cunt. He's just annoying.
A lot of people have a real issue with him. I never understood really. He doesn't irritate me like everyone else does.
Irritating. He's just not funny at all. He gets all the fucking attention for no reason whatsoever. And so I'm hoping that it gets killed off. But Blackguard, I think Blackguard's quite a major player in the Suicide Squad in some areas. So I think, or is he a villain? I can't remember now. I had all my notes on that, but it's not relevant. Anyway, so it's a long roster. It'll be fun to see a lot of them get blown up. Yeah, that's
By
it.
the way, like just John Cena in costume. He looked like a reboot of fucking of Turbo Man, that character from Jingle All the Way. Yeah. I mean, he looked so bizarre. He had all these like yellow hat and a red shirt and blue trousers.
He looked great as Peacemaker. Yeah.
I mean, it looked a bit weird in that. I hope it works out in the film. Like I'm kind of caught off by his outfit. Like I said, I don't know anything about a lot of these villains. These are really like
don't worry.
we don't C-list villains. A lot of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I don't know much about Bloodsport or Soul Soria or Polka Dot. He's just like back fucking from the day, man. I think like James Gunn dug deep back into like the 70s.
He said, "Who can I kill without any repercussions?"
Huh?
He's like, who can I kill without any repercussions?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a little bit upset that Idris Elba is not Black Kitten. I'm just saying, like
Black Kitten. You mean
Yeah.
Black Tiger?
Yeah, exactly, Black Kitten. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah, Black Kitten. Yeah, me too. Actually, I wanted him to be that Tiger King. I think wasn't it called Tiger King?
It might be Tiger King, Kitten King.
Tiger King. I was
I
like
don't know.
Bloodsport, the fucking Lex Luthor bloody henchman. What a load of shit. But because it kind of sounds roughly like the Deadshot kind of thing, which Will Smith was actually all right as Deadshot. I'll give him that.
I didn't mind him.
Performance of his I actually liked. I think it was good in that. It's a shame he's not back. They could have killed him off. That would have been funny.
Yeah, like, I wanted to see a real. That was like the closest we ever got to Will Smith being a villain, and he wasn't a villain enough. He was too anti-hero for me. And
he was very.
Yeah, I agree.
He was confident and all of that, but real villain? No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it at all.
Brody Beatlemaniacs wants to know, why is John Cena in it? Well, why not? He's great.
I like John Cena. I mean, he's kind of embraced. When he stopped trying to be like The Rock. You didn't see him. Well, when he stopped trying to be like The Rock, like that's when I think he started to kind of come into his own in his acting.
Yeah, like into the comedy stuff, and it's worked out better for him.
Yeah,
like if you watch the film Trainwreck that he's in with Amy Schumer and all that. He was the best thing in the whole film. It was
there was what was there? It was like Sisters, I think, was another movie. He was like a drug dealer in that one. I can't remember what it was like. It was with Tina Fey and Amy, not Amy Schumer.
Amy Poehler.
And like I just like he had this like big neck tattoo, and he was hilarious. He was just this drug dealer, and he's just like, and then like towards I think John Cena's coming into his own as an actor finally.
Yeah,
I think he's going to do more. He's going to be doing more supporting roles before he becomes a leading man, in my opinion. If he ever becomes a leading man.
Well, he's led a couple of films, but nothing.
Yeah, but but the films where which are the better films are the ones where he's not really the lead. He's just like part of the supporting cast.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, moving on then. If nothing else to add, then we'll move on to Wonder Woman 84. Yes. Tasty. Right. I was a little bit. I get annoyed with Wonder Woman trailers because it shows way too much. It shows way too much. None of the good stuff. What I mean is too much of the film. You know exactly what's going to happen the whole film. You know the plot. You know the story. You know how it pans out. So that was really annoying. But I like what I saw. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the first Wonder Woman film, apart from the last act.
Yep, likewise.
Obviously we have Cheetah who's in it, and she looks really bad, outfit look-wise. But obviously the plot is blatantly obvious. Thingy Pascal's character, who I forgot because I've just got too much going on. He basically has a great big satellite, obviously just gives you your desires. He's probably just completely manipulating the world and warping it like it did in the comics. And obviously the facade kind of falls apart towards the end, and reality goes back to normal kind of shit. That's, what's going to happen. But Cheeto, or Zam, let's go to you, Zam, because he's muted. Zam, thoughts on Wonder Woman 84 and what we saw?
Well, we only saw a little bit more than what we saw in the previous trailer, and he never really shed more light. This trailer. I mean, I guess Pascal and Kristen Wiig's character, they had a little chat at one point, but that's about it. We see them interacting. We're going down the two villain route, obviously, with this. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Having
it's the 80s.
Yeah, I know, but are they going to combine, or is she going to have to fight one over here and one over there, and all of that? I'm still the same with this. I mean, I'm hoping we would see the fucking film by now. It should have been released by now, surely.
Yeah, it would have been released by now.
Yeah, so in a way, I'm a bit in limbo with this. It's like, I was expecting to have watched it by now, not to be previewed further on by DC. They should have found a way of fucking showing us this film. I mean, it's weird that we haven't watched it yet. So that's how I feel about it. I want to see it. That's all it is. I'm not hyped about it in that sense. I should have fucking seen it by now. What the fuck?
Yeah, I agree. Cheeto, any thoughts?
I actually really liked the trailer. I thought they showed us a lot more. I mean, and I agree with you sometimes that they do give away a little too much. And I feel like with this trailer, I mean, I like the fact that they showed us Cheetah. I do like Cheetah's look. Everyone's like, oh, it's Cats. I don't think it looks like Cats at all. Like, I think it looks much better than that. Cats was an abomination of CGI. But
yeah, I'm fine with the look as well.
Yeah, I mean, I like the way she moved. I like the way that, I mean, a lot of people are speculating how she gets her powers and yada yada. I don't care about all that. I'll find that out when I go into the. I don't think they really gave away too awful much, but I mean, Ginger is much more intuitive than I am, so I mean, you probably picked up on more than I did.
Picked apart the fucking film just by looking at the trailer, and I don't like doing that. That's why I like Batman, because it was like, okay, you can kind of guess what happens, but you don't know enough. And great.
That's the
but I thought it. I mean, I enjoyed the panel mostly. I mean, I know you guys are breaking down the trailer, but I watched the fandom not just for the titties, but for the articles as well.
I did enjoy this panel. I liked the director's energy. She's got great energy.
Well, and if you guys watch, she was all over DC Fandome. They basically said, look, instead of doing a press tour for this movie, you're gonna do like 5,000 things on our fandom tour or on our fandom thing. And like, okay, sure, dude, yeah, that works.
Yeah. She was great. Okay, let's move on. Okay. So next, move on to Black Adam. Now, Black Adam, obviously, they haven't been able to do much. Production was going to start in February, and then they had to shut everything down because of COVID. But what we did get was a lovely motion comic and The Rock kind of describing about the character and what roughly happens in the film and all of that. And I've got to say, it took a twist that I didn't expect, and one that I like. At first, it's just talking about Black Adam being a kind of anti-hero. He's been trapped for 5,000 years and is finally free. And then he introduced the Justice Society. And I didn't expect that. And I thought, brilliant. What a great way to have the Justice Society in a film tied to a bigger character or big actor playing a character that people are going to flock to see. And it's Atom Smasher and Hawkman, which I always wanted to see on the big screen, as well as Cyclone and Dr. Fate. So excellent. And it was a beautiful motion comic. It was a good description of the film, and also about like Black Adam. He teams up to defeat the enemies with the Justice Society, but obviously their personalities are going to clash along the way, and they might even face off against each other, or he just absconds and leaves them. Now, I'm hoping personally it doesn't try to rush to get him the sequel into Shazam. Like, I want it just to be like still around that era for the first two films, and then maybe move on to him and Shazam going at it. But that's my thoughts. Zam, thoughts?
Well, first of all, when they brought in the Justice Society, it just reminded me of how quickly Warner Brothers wanted to, immediately shoe in the fucking Justice League. So let's not be too excited. They could rush this shit and it could be a pile of bollocks. We've already seen it before with the original Justice League. I've known about Rock wanting to be Black Adam for years, and we still haven't got any film footage. I understand about it. That's the thing with fucking Warner Brothers. These things fucking drag on forever. I mean, they were talking about films today that they haven't even been fucking made, haven't even started production yet. This, and obviously we talk about the Flash later. There's nothing to be made from this. I'll tell you one thing. Watching that comic book, that motion comic, it had echoes of fucking Scorpion King at the beginning, man, and that made me laugh.
Yeah. Same section.
Exactly. I'm not a fan of making Black. I know in recent times he's become a bit more anti-hero and he's become a bit more grounded, more like an evil Superman, in the sense that he wants more to order and justice than necessarily destroys things, more of an iron fist sort of ruler. But I really hope they make Rock go dark and he's a proper villain. I really hope they do that. You know, I like Rock as a bad guy. I've seen him a couple of times in Doom and that Get Short or Get whatever the fuck that film was with Steve.
Get Short too.
Yeah. So I want him to be bad guy. I really do. No anti-hero shit. You know how they love to make fucking popular characters who end up being a villain. They turn him into a good guy. They've done that with Jason Statham in the Fast and Furious. I don't want any of that shit. Keep him bad. You know, I like Black Adam as a bad guy. Keep him bad. He's Shazam's villain.
Keep him like bad. A gray would be nice.
Maybe gray, yeah, I guess so. But like somebody whose idea of justice and ruling is not in line with the main heroes. You know, and that would be more.
And that's exactly what he said. Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what he said. He basically said that, and I mean, I like The Rock's passion when he talked about it. And you could tell, you can tell when Rock's cutting a promo for something, and you can tell when Rock actually has a passion project for something. And I honestly feel like this is the passion project of his. I mean, I've always said that I wanted Black Adam and Black Adam and Superman to cross paths because it's all really the magic element is the only thing that it can ever put a actual threat to Superman normally. You know, normally in the comic books. So it's like that's why I think having Henry Cavill go up against The Rock is like the best idea ever. You know,
like so ridiculous tickets.
Oh yeah, that would be. I mean, even if you just did a Superman versus Black Adam movie, I mean, it's still, you know, and then bring Zack Snyder in to do it. That'd be an awesome movie. Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh my god,
it'd be great.
Fuck that, man. You get Peacekeeper in there as well, and you got John Cena versus The Rock Part 3. Fuck me, I can't believe it. Oh my god, they're in the same universe together now. These guys hate each other as well. I think they might.
That would be amazing if, like, yeah.
At the end, when Superman's about to die, Peacemaker just comes in and kills Black Adam. Peace at any cost. Wow.
Well, they're in the same universe now, you know, so you never know.
Well, we don't know that because you know what the DC.
We're in the same multiverse. They're in the same multiverse for sure.
Yeah, well, they have the multiverse, so you never know because it's their get out of jail card of we fucked it up. Well, that's that universe done. We can move on and give you our third Batman in 10 years if it all goes wrong. But that was Black Adam. Looks interesting. I agree with Zam though. Don't fuck it up, man. Don't make him like an out and out good guy.
No, they just. But Black Adam is, in my impressions of Black Adam, and I don't know early Black Adam, but more recent, he's always been that one that's like, I'm Shazam, but better. I am more equipped to handle these powers. Why would you give these to a child?
Yeah,
I can bring order to the universe, and it's like that's what that's what he's always been.
And the thing is, The Rock is the perfect character to pull off the arrogance of Black Adam. Don't try to keep him humble. Don't try to keep him, in line with like Superman or anything like that. Make him an arrogant, self-assured, egotistical arsehole. Because then you have a kind of a character that we haven't had in the superhero verse. And let me see. He could have the Justice Society from the start. No, that's all right. No.
It's all different characters anyway, isn't it? I don't think there's. I mean, Starman's not in. Like, I think it's all different. I think Hawkman's not in it. Like in the show
of tomorrow.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that they're honestly playing it safe and not having any of those characters on in with Black Adam, which honestly I would be okay with if they did like have some of those characters and like recast them for the movies. I don't know. It just seems like a small roster for the JSA. Only 4 people.
It's fine. You don't need to overbloat it to start off.
We're going to be talking television shows in another video, boss man. We're just doing movies at the moment.
Okay, so quickly moving on. So we've got nothing really much from The Flash. A couple of pictures. New suit. I think there was one picture that showed Michael Keaton in his bat suit as well.
Which, are we really excited for Michael Keaton in his suit? No. I mean, I was about to say, I think they should do like a hybrid.
If it's not Batman Beyond, I don't give a shit how they put. The only time I want to see Michael Keaton in the suit is if he's playing in a Batman Beyond film. That's it.
Yeah.
Flashpoint is going to be one of those films that I feel It's going to be a desperate attempt to just throw a bunch of shit together in a 2-hour film and hoping that it stick. Whereas Flashpoint should have been an event, like a crisis event, that spanned over 2 films like the Avengers did. That should have been the building up point. Everything before that should have built up to Flashpoint, where then you could just be like, okay, now we reset the universe, new actors, new this, new that. But
so you're talking about like an Endgame scenario,
yeah,
not like an Avengers scenario, like, and not end of phase 1. You're talking about end of phase 3 for DC.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So then they could reset it, bring in new actors, and yada yada. Anyone thoughts on Flash film? I think we've pretty much covered that.
Ben Affleck's going to be in it.
Huh?
Ben Affleck's going to be in it. Did you guys not know?
Yeah, we know. We did a video on that the other day.
Oh yes, okay. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see him back in the Bat outfit. And now we're going to have 2 Batmans, live action Batmans, which is going to be pretty cool as well. I think that's the first time it's ever happened.
Multiverse.
Yeah. Can
Yeah,
be 3 Batman. Because Michael Keaton as well.
Actually, you got the television show as well from Titans. You got what's his face from Game of Thrones. He's Batman. He plays Bruce Wayne, so theoretically he's Batman as well.
Who?
On Titans?
Oh yeah.
I hate that pick for Bruce Wayne. Like maybe for an older Bruce Wayne, but that dude looks so old.
Wow.
Like I can't imagine him running around in a bat suit.
He's Alfred, not Bruce Wayne, man.
Yeah, he is. Like that should have been Alfred. That actor should have been cast as Alfred, not as Bruce Wayne. Dude looks so old, and like it's supposed to be Jason Todd as Robin right now.
That's TV stuff.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay.
All right. So and finally to finish off, we have, of course, obviously there was a brief mention of Shazam, but before that we just got the Justice League Snyder Cut, which I do not give a flying fuck about. Don't care. So whatever. Anyone got anything to add?
I think that this is a clamoring for the fans because the first Justice League was not that good. Y'all know my opinions on that, but I think that they're like, they originally everybody was clamoring to get Snyder out, and then he's out, and then everybody's now clamoring to get him back in, and I don't think it's going to change anything. I think you're just taking a turd and you're shining it up real nice, and it's still a turd.
Yep.
So the Snyder Cut I don't think is going. I mean, it'll be interesting to see, but I don't think it's going to make anything any different. It's going to be just like Batman v Superman. It's going to be convoluted and dark and annoying and everything else.
Yep, I agree. Zam?
Well, first of all, have you seen Batman versus Superman with the deleted scenes?
It made no difference. That made no difference either.
I felt it was a better film because it added more content, with Clark Kent being a reporter and doing some sort of detective work, trying to find out who Batman is.
Okay, so you get an F- to an F. Still an F.
What I'm saying is that I'm way more curious than I thought I would be about this film. After sleeping on it, I didn't give a fuck at first, but there's 2 hours of extra content here. That's a lot of shit. We got another villain in Darkseid.
That's like Jeff Gold. That's like Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park. It's still a pile of crap.
It looks like another movie, and I'm willing to.
Look, every one of us is going to watch it.
I'm willing to give the devil his due, and then I'm going to judge the film after I see it. But right now, I'm kind of on board on it. I'll be honest with you. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, that's fair enough.
You can look forward.
I'm looking forward. It could be a 4-hour extravaganza. It's going to be. You're going to see more about Cyborg. You're going to see more about the Flash. It's going to be a lot more serious. Even at the end of that trailer, when you saw Bruce Wayne saying, they never faced us, not when we're united. It was so Batman. He wasn't being a mumbling dickhead. He was being Batman, a fucking leader, and I loved it. I'm hoping this would bring justice to what was a shitty film 3 years ago. No pun intended.
Yeah, fair enough. Phony says, "Well, I want to see it as Joss Whedon is an overrated and racist. Apparently, well, he's definitely overrated. I don't know about the racist part, but Jeff Johns is a good writer.
That's
Jeff Johns
usually-
is not a good writer. Get rid of that comment. I've never been so insulted in my life. How dare you? All right, moving on. So, and then finally, of course, we had the Shazam, which was a really, really fun segment. Of course, the star of the show, and probably one of the best things about the fandom was Sinbad, the comedian, showing up in it. And he absolutely stole the show by even calling Zachary Levi John Krasinski.
Which
Everyone on Twitter went fucking nuts for that. And yeah, it was great. We got a title, Shazam 2, Wrath of the Gods.
is it Wrath or Fury? I don't remember.
I think Wrath of the Gods.
Okay.
Fury of the, yeah. Either way, I don't give a shit.
I love Sinbad and Kazam.
Huh?
I love Sinbad and Kazam.
Same person, aren't they? God damn it. Kazam was a great film.
I liked him in fucking the greatest villain ever.
Not all of 52. Yeah. Okay, that's it then. Let's wrap this up because we've overshot. So those were the films, pretty much. Nothing else was announced. Is what it is. The Batman's got everyone excited. Everything else is curious, meh, pumped, all of that. But definitely the Batman stole the show for everyone. And even for myself, I thought it was great. And that's it. We're going to wrap this one up. Thank you, Gary, for joining us in the comments. And,
Thank you, Gary.
Our next videos that are going to be released won't be live, but we are going to continue talking about DC Fandome. We're going to do it in different segments. Might go live, we don't know. You know, everything's up in the air. No rules, baby. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you later.